Hi YouTube. For today's video, I'll be reviewing the Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation from Maybelline. Bet you didn't expect that. Me neither, girl. Skin's already been prepped and primed, so I'm going to go straight into the foundation. This is Maybelline's Maybelline Dream Radiant Liquid Foundation. It's a hydration foundation, and this is in the shade 125, also known as Coconut. Throughout my time on YouTube, you know that all the foundations that I reviewed that are from drugstores usually were for joke purposes, so this will be more of a, straightforward, honest, just direct, truthful review, and I will do the best I can to not laugh throughout this process because I may surprise myself because supposedly drugstore foundations have been stepping their game up. I don't know about that, but we'll see. So it comes in a pump, and here's the shade. I'm going to use my NYX foundation brush to stipple the foundation in and apply. Now, the problem with drugstores that I really hate is that you can never at least at the CVS I went to, I had no way of knowing if this foundation would be a match for me. It was the only one that made sense because the one before this one was too light and the one after that was too dark and too red. So hopefully this turns out well. Initially, the scent is a bit off-putting. It kind of smells like hairspray, but almost instantly the scent dissipates. It goes away, so that's not a big issue. Feels okay on the skin. So far, I am not mad at it. Look at you, drugstore foundation, trying to look pretty. So right now, I'm just buffing this out. Now I'm going to go in with the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer. And this is in the shade Deep Golden, D500. Looks like that. And apply. Come on, drugstore. Go ahead and blend this out with the sponge. Y'all, this actually looks good. Oh my god. I'm gonna put on a little bronzer. A little Guerlain Terracotta Light because I refuse to use a drugstore highlighter. And I don't care. For setting powder under my eyes, I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild translucent powder. I picked this up. It's called Photo Focus. Am I afraid to use this one? Yes. So after having this on for about a minute, I'm gonna go ahead and dust this off and just using this random brush. This is not really the brush I need, but it's okay. Now it's looking kind of sad. I don't know if it's the powder. Mascara from Metier de Beauté, darling. Y'all remember that? For final step, I'll put on some Badescu spray. It's just a facial spray. And we are done. So this foundation is your standard 1 ounce 30 ml bottle. It retails for around $13 just depending on where you go. It comes in 20 shades per their website. However, at the CVS I was at, it only had maybe 10 to 12, so all the shades weren't available, of course. For the back of the bottle, it says that it gives up to 12 hours of continuous hydration, visibly improves the look of skin, medium coverage with radiant finish, doesn't clog pores, and is dermatologist tested. With regards to the claim of 12 hours of wear, I can't speak to that because this is a first impressions video. However, the finish, as far as improving the look of the skin, I would say that as far as what I can see on camera and what I can see if I look in a mirror, I feel like the appearance of wearing foundation, I feel that I am wearing foundation. Just meaning that if I were to look at myself, I would say I'm obviously wearing foundation. It doesn't give that natural second skin type of look that I personally prefer, just because I don't like when I see people who are wearing foundation and you can tell that they're wearing foundation. It's different if it's drag or if it's something for theater or something like that. That's a given. However, in just normal daily life, I don't like that look. And so this foundation gives me that look. As far as the radiant appearance is concerned, that appearance on camera, I'm looking, here and I'm looking here. And personally, I don't see any radiance whatsoever. And the only radiance that I see that's subtle is using my Terracotta Light powder on my face, on my cheek area. I can see that if I turn and the light hits it. But as far as looking straight on and looking at my skin, I don't really see radiance per se. But I think that's really attributed to the Wet n Wild powder because this, I guess it doesn't have any iridescence. I'm not really sure. I haven't really tested this either. I literally have just purchased these things, so it's really just a first impressions. So I feel like the powder mattified the foundation, and so any of the foundation that I didn't actually touch, with the powder, even that portion doesn't look radiant. Like, it's like the powder like took over the entire appearance of my face. And so because it's all in the T-zone, it makes my skin as a whole appear matte. So for me, I'm getting a matte appearance. You may actually see something different when this video actually is live. So definitely leave comments below to let me know what you actually see as far as, you know, on camera with my skin, because it may come off as radiant. I'm not really certain. As it relates to this being a medium coverage foundation, I definitely would agree with that, just because when I applied it on the back of my hand, I had plenty left over. I believe I used 3 pumps and I had plenty left. So this definitely is a medium coverage foundation, not exactly a full coverage foundation, not a light cover foundation, but you could definitely get up to a medium coverage, but you could definitely also sheer it out and technically make it light. Overall, I will say that I don't really hate the appearance of my skin. I don't think it looks bad. I just think it looks like I'm wearing foundation, and I personally just don't like that look. I like the natural, my skin looks like skin but better. I'm all about that when it comes to foundation, so that's the only really negative thing that I have to say about it. And again, that could be attributed to the powder. So I think if I actually wore this without the Wet n Wild setting powder, it would actually look really nice, and that radiance would actually shine through, because with a lot of foundations, I don't even wear setting powder. So I think if I were to wear this and just put on a setting spray, this actually would look really good. And I'm surprised that I'm saying this, just because every drugstore foundation that I've ever reviewed, you know, joke or not, it's always been a mess. The shade range has always been a mess, or the shade selection that I actually chose happens to be a mess. And I will say that this foundation shade does not look bad. This actually matches my skin very well. It's a nice shade. And this Covergirl concealer, I do not hate this at all. This is very much like Shape Tape to me. Again, the concealer as well, I actually really like. And that's really all I have to say about this foundation. Definitely leave comments below and let me know if you've tried this particular foundation. I'm not sure if this is a new foundation or not, because I really don't follow drugstore brands. But if you have tried this foundation, definitely leave a comment below. Let me know what shade you use, how you actually like it. You know, is it something that performs well for you? I should also note that being that it is a radiant foundation, this is not a foundation for someone who is combination to oily and or oily. However, if you have a powder like the Wet n Wild, as we can see, it will actually mattify the skin. As far as, you know, what I'm seeing, my skin looks matte. So maybe you could actually rock this. However, I personally just use foundations that work for me, but I'm someone who has normal skin, so I can kind of be a really good guinea pig. I can try any type of foundation setting. And I bought several new foundations that are all from the drugstore, so you will be seeing those coming. So definitely rate, comment, subscribe, and let's see what else we find out on this journey. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.